Jill,
Reddit says a lot of things.
go check it out.
Reddit says a lot of things.
I'll stay here and secure our escape route in case something happens.
Okay.
It must have been a meme. It must have been a meme. Reddit always take something that some deluded individual says, just runs with it. That's the Reddit way. That's the Reddit way. They're hoping to get traction like the whole Yasuke and Assassin's Creed thing. Toshi, where you at? Toshi, where you at?
Barry!
Negus, Toshi. They're doing my homie dirty. Negus. They're doing my homie dirty. Yeah, this is the best remake ever made. Straight up. Let's debate that. What's the best remake ever made? This is easily the best fucking remake. They do a little homie dirty. Negus. Neegus. Whoa, did I? Oh, I fucked up. Delude if they stray too far off the established precedent or our institutions. There are a ton of head-ass takes on there. Yeah. Such a minority, man. These people on Reddit really think that like they can actualize things. But when you go outside and talk to people, the average person barely knows what the fuck is going on. The gay Spider-Man, but yeah, no homo chip. The no homo chip. That was jokes. You should call it the homo inhibitor chip. But they had to dub it to his lip sync, like his lip movements, so. Yeah. AI is such a great tool. It can be misused. It's being misused, but it's being misused in the best way possible. So, rid of the homie trying to get his biscuits at 3 a.m. at night. Yeah. African parents, man. Yeah, it's like nobody cared about gender till yeah, Like, trans people started making a fuss about it. You could probably have been a trans without making a big fuss about it, and people would have just accepted you. It wouldn't even been a thing. But trans people, the movement is so desperate to be seen. It's about sectarianism more than anything. Gender sectarianism rather than any sort of like equality. And then there's the whole debate of whether you pass as a trans or not. People who pass as trans would have absolutely no problems. Yeah, had no problems. But then you have to wonder, is being trans a rich man's luxury as well? Who can afford to go the length needed, the shills like Sphere Hunter, to take the hormones, get the gender realignment surgery done? You know, it's a rich man's. This is my main contention with it. It's a rich white man's invention, meant to make white people feel what's it called, oppressed. This is something I agree with. Something a white person said to me. He said it's just a new way for white people to feel oppressed. Yeah, but we live in an age of where white privilege is considered as serious. People take the idea of white privilege seriously, so there was bound to be some sort of counter to it. I mean, you could even call trans a white privilege. I'm not saying they are non-white trans, but if we acknowledge white privilege exists, then we acknowledge that getting the surgery, getting the changes needed is a privilege of a white, is a bigger privilege. It's a privilege that is afforded only, the rich people. Extra brownie points for being black and trans in the USA. Yes. But that's why the hashtag Black Trans Lives Matter is a thing. But my issue is, I don't think being homosexual was a product of social conditioning. I do think trans is a different thing. There is a conditioning involved, but it's not like you can be born trans. It's something you decide at some point, and probably more or less at puberty or around puberty. There's a conditioning involved, so trans people have to convert other people to their cause. But they like to lump themselves and attach themselves to the LGB to give themselves more validity. But then you've got LGB people who say, we don't want nothing to do with the T. We don't want nothing to do with it. And me, my take, I don't give a fuck about all that. My take is it's just mental illness. Like even the term gender dysphoria would be considered mental illness. And the kind of help you get is always one way. It's never the other way. It's just weird to me that the help you can get for that it goes one way. It doesn't. It's about affirmation. It's a sect, but you're fighting for something so shitty and poorly thought out. How do you expect to not be marginalized? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but now we've given them people the tools to. It's I call it defeatism almost, because the mental health community or the medical community really just didn't have a solution to this issue. They was like, look, just take these fucking meds and shut the fuck. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. It's about it's a happiness thing. It's more about personal pleasure and happiness more than anything. And then you got the grifters, the grifter trans people, who really are so on the spectrum, like so mentally deluded. They would risk, like, gender realignment surgery, completely transforming their body, hoping it will change their life, hoping it will be a cure or fix all for their life. But all I've noticed is, after people become trans, they just become more angry. I've almost never seen a trans person sound happy after they're trans. They have more access to grind. They constantly complain. They're constantly angry. They're constantly looking for self-validation, vindication or validation. They're constantly looking for it. I don't see them becoming trans as having improved their lives. It's not made them happier, because they're constantly after this chase for, like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I saw a movie which was directed by a trans person, Ruenthal. It's called I Saw the TV Glow. And it's written and directed by a trans person, and it's basically trans propaganda. It says that if you decide to stay in the closet, live a normal, productive, functional life with a wife and kids, even if it's a sham, let's just say it's a sham, but you contribute something to society. You contribute something to 2 children who became productive members of society. If you're a normie, then the film's message was, you're destined to die alone, languishing in your own suffering and pain, destined to die alone. And the one character, who's either like a lesbian or trans, runs away from home, has a breakdown, obsessed with nostalgia, and is like kind of mental, thinks this TV show is real and is talking about her life. She runs away and comes back as a trans person, and then she's so confident, and she's sitting there lecturing the other character from her childhood, saying, dude, you're a normie, fam, you need to come out, fam, and stuff. And he decides not to, and it's just judging people who decide to go the other way. That's why I will never respect the trans movement. It's just single-minded, completely single-minded. They never look at the other way, that maybe going the other way might be better for your life. You won't end up committing suicide or fucking going nuts or shooting up a school or something. At least then their life wasn't full of drama and they were actually accepted for like who they were. Yeah, that's why I say have empathy for mental illness, for sure. It's the movement, man. The movement's doing trans people a disservice. It's the movement. Like you say, like the C word, cult. Cult is the best word. Trans cult. I mean, I am empathetic. Maybe I sound abrasive, but if you want to know what I really think when I look at trans issues, I promise you, in my heart, I go, thank God I'm not these people. Thank God I don't have these people's cross to bear. Thank God you did not put this burden on my shoulders. That's my thought. And that's about as empathetic as I can get. And then when I see them act up or get uppity or whatever it is, I take it on a case-by-case basis. So there are certain facts that trans people don't acknowledge either, like trauma, familial trauma or trauma growing up, and they never want to put 2 and 2 together to make 4, or they want to completely like omit that from their decision to become trans. So almost every trans person or someone I feel is kind of like is going through gender dysphoria has had some sort of traumatic experience with either a parent coming out as homosexual or a parent coming out as trans, or some sort of trauma, being fiddled as a kid or going through a sexual experience they shouldn't have gone through. Way ahead of emotional maturity, puberty, all that stuff, and it's kind of fucked with them, and it's something they never fucking acknowledge. It's they become really like selfish and narcissistic, and I got that from all the videos I saw of Digibro back before I even thought that he was trans, and he had his wife with him, that woman that was on his streams all the time. I thought he was straight heterosexual. I thought this guy was a degen before he became trans. He fucked in the head before that. These people aren't geniuses. They're not misunderstood in their time. These people think they're those kind of geniuses, like who are misunderstood in their era. Empathy needs to select. You can't allow LGBT to derail. Yeah, well, they derail it themselves. Yeah. Don't be so open-minded your brain falls out. That's a funny quote that someone once told me. Don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out. What am I doing? I got the thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, I blame those people. Kids are really impressionable growing up. That's well, who's that? Elliot Page. Elliot Page, who transitioned, the actress. And the idea, it's conditioning. Then it's not the same as being born gay. But even to an extent, I do believe homosexuality is conditioned. There is an element of that there. But conditioning, man. You shouldn't tell a boy growing up, you look like a girl, oh, why are you so skinny, why are you so feminine, this does not do nothing for these people. It's bullying almost. It's bullying. It's like school ground bullying. Let's do something about bullying. Yeah, they haven't officially come out as trans because they're not old enough to make that decision. But they're dressing them up as girls. Yeah, exactly. They overlook a lot of things. It's just comfort. It's easier to live life how they be living it. This is the political. This applies to politics as well. Sometimes it's just easier to not overlook things for an easy life. I'd say they're harmless. Well, I don't know if they're harmless or not, but I'd say they're already at that stage. They're fanatics. Would you say trans outfits would be able to get as much traction as religious fanatics like that? Will we use as weapon used to derision the future of trans? I don't know if it. No, I don't know if they'll be ISIS level. Trans oppression is not the same as. I'm not saying ISIS are right, but they use foreign policy and deaths and stuff as an excuse. Like, it's not the same thing. Like, it's not the same thing. I don't think trans will ever be. For me, it's just a new ideology. This form of transgender, like this trans movement. I don't think it'll ever gain traction. They won't. I just don't. They hope it will. They hope it will. But even these people you elect, they're just paying lip service. They're just pandering to you. It's like how the Democrats have been trying to get black people to vote for them, and they really don't do anything. They don't do anything for them. They just pander, say the right things. They get clipped, sound bites and stuff, and then. Nah, fam. I don't believe in America only sees in black and white. But Indians and British colonial people have been doing pretty damn good for themselves. Kenyans. If you get educated, meritocracy will do the rest. There really isn't discrimination, and I've never felt I've been discriminated against. Nah, I don't fall for these debate me. There must be something going on over there. If Trixie's that desperate to debate people someone that follows her would want me to debate her. I could debate her, no problem. It's just I don't know if there's any polite way for me to debate on trans stuff. If a topic arises, if you bring me a topic that we could debate on, and I like it, then I'll try and contact that person. I'm not here for spectacle and theater and narcissism. They be saying 2 hands on your bum. It's exhausting debating trans. It's just too low hanging fruit. I don't want to feed them. I don't want to feed the trans. It's why you don't see me trans bashing on my Twitter. You see me say a lot on my Twitter, Kaiser Rental. You'll see me say a lot, but you never see me trans bashing on my Twitter. I'm not about attacking people while they're down. I'll see some stupid retweet maybe here and there, but I'll ask them if they'd be up to it. You ask Golden Witch Trixie guys if they'd be up for a debate. But I'm not going to be trapped, is what it is. There has to be some sort of mutual respect between the two people debating. That's why I wanted to debate Anime Snob. This was before I started hating him. There was at least some sort of mutual respect, some sort of thing I wanted to debate him on. But when I figured, okay, I know what this guy is. I've got his number now. Like, yeah, this guy's not worth it. He's just another grifter. If we can find a good topic, then maybe. I'm only just getting my channel back up and running. You might have to give me a few weeks. What were Anime Snob and Golden Witch gonna debate, Kaiser? What topic were they gonna debate? Was offered to pay for a trip to an anime convention. Oh, I see. Why can't they just video call or something? And she rejected, huh? So much for discourse then. So much for discourse. That's true, Kaiser. I have a friend of mine on Twitter who interviewed him. He was the last person to interview him, and he's not good at off the cuff. He's good at writing out his points and thoughts. Trixie to react to Anime Star's visit after she declared war on him, and in response to those. So it's sort of like a podcast, we had them together. Okay, I see. I've seen debate formats like that. Michaela Peterson does those sort of debates, and for people who can't stand to be together in the same room. Michaela Peterson kind of does that format. She would take questions from either side, and they'll answer back and forth, and their responses will be documented, and the other side responds. But it will never be a live debate.
Jill, you're alive. I was worried because I thought you were...
It's like Sneeko and Moist Critical's
I didn't want to do it. Believe me, I can explain.
Don't lie to me.
Sneeko was ready. Moist Critical wasn't.
Time to talk. Jill, hand me my gun. Thanks, Jill.
Nah, I don't like him. I don't like him. I just don't. I got no respect for him to debate him. There was a time I would have. I've even reached out to him. I can show you my DMs and I can show you his replies to me, Kaiser. So I don't back down from a debate. And there was a time where I would have totally done it. And I've got the receipts, but nah, not anymore. He knows what he's doing. After his Quran, his ludicrous fucking Quran reviews, and I always provided links to proofs that he was just flat out lying about the Quran and Islam and Hadiths, but he's not interested. It's all about the narrative. It's all about the narrative. I may change people's minds if I debate Golden Witch Trixie. I will not be changing anyone's minds debating Snob. I do love debates about subjective morality versus objective morality. That's a debate I could get behind. I don't know what Golden Witch Trixie feels about that. that some people who aren't religious say you don't need religion to be moral. So okay, so where do you get your morals from? Government. Government says this about age of consent. The government says this is bad, this is right. That's subjective morality. But they present it to you as objective morality when they forget that we live with billions and billions of people on this world that don't subscribe to that morality, and everything's social contract. That's the kind of debate I can have with Golden Witch. He's known for creating straw mans and flagrant misrepresenting people's points. Times it's a part of his game. Yeah. I said the debate about subjective morality versus objective morality is a debate I could have, because a lot of non-religious people say, this is morality, this is right, this is wrong, age of consent, blah blah blah. You're not allowed to do this. That's not right. This is not right. And then you ask them, so where'd you get your morality from? They go, well, the government mandate, so it's subjective, but they present it to you like an objective morality, right? Where religious people say we have objective morality from God, and then they forget that they share the world with about billions and billions of people who don't subscribe to the same social contract that they do. So what makes yours more objective over other persons? They have no answer. That's the kind of debate I can get behind, rather than say trans versus Islam. It's just... The issue with debating trans versus Islam is there is no guidance for transgenderism. There is guidance for homosexuality. It's not something that they dealt with when Islam was formed. So. My criticisms of transgenderism is the only thing that has, for me, that has no basis in my religion. Everything else usually has a basis for it in my religion, but I don't have absolutely any basis for it, like from Islam perspective. I agree. I'm just not gonna put myself in a trap. I don't want to trap myself, because I don't know what Trixie's views are on things. I have to be invested in the debate. I have to know what that person's views are on things to have the desire to want to challenge them. I don't have absolutely any clue what DigiBro's been doing since he transitioned or whatever it is.